Thoth is one of the major gods in the land of pharaohs. In the ancient Egyptian language, his name was pronounced Jeuti and written with the sign of the ibis, which is one of the god's iconic animals. When the ancient Greeks took interest in Egyptian culture, they changed a lot of names to adapt them to their language. Jeuti was no exception to the rule, but to go from Jeuti to Thoth is quite a stretch. So it was the same for pharaohs named Jeutymos, which means born from Thoth, who the Greeks renamed Thutmose. Thoth was initially the god of the moon. That's why it's sometimes represented with a full moon and a crescent moon on the head. He then took on other attributes and became better known as the god of writing, knowledge, wisdom, and time. He is sometimes described as the son of Ra, even though no one knows who his mother was. But this relationship is interesting because it would mean the god of the moon is the son of the sun. Thoth is also the husband of a very discreet goddess called Seshat. The name means the one who writes, and like Thoth, she was later considered a deity of writing. Seshat is also a goddess of architecture. Thoth appears in several myths and is quite a cool god, as you will see. He often had great ideas and did all he could to make things right and help others. When man plotted against Ra, the king of gods sent Sekhmet, goddess of war, down to the earth. She then turned into a lioness and caused terrific carnage. Once she had a state of blood and enjoyed it, she quickly went mad and out of control. Ra was no longer able to stop her, and Thoth came up with the idea of setting a trap to calm her down and bring her back to her senses. He asked some women to prepare large jugs of blood-red beer and to then pour all of it in the fields. Seeing this enormous red lake, Sekhmet thought it was human blood and started drinking. She quickly realized the mistake, but since she found the beer tasty, she drank so much that she blacked out and forgot her hate for humans. So the humans were saved thanks to Thoth. Another time, when his friend Nut was a victim of a curse that prevented her from giving birth on any known day of the ancient Egyptian calendar, Thoth also had a wonderful solution. He found a way to create 5 new days in the year. So Nut was able to give birth to one child every day for 5 days: Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus the Elder. With his invention, the ancient Egyptian year, which had 360 days, now had 365. Thoth acts finally in the last story when Horus challenged his uncle Set to a duel to avenge his father's death and take back the throne of Egypt. The god of chaos savagely injured Horus by ripping out his left eye. Thoth also made things right then by treating Horus' wound and putting his eyes back through magic. Ever since this legend, the moon was associated with the left eye and the sun with the right eye. There was even a god named Hormerte, whose left eye was the moon and right eye the sun. Because Thoth invented hieroglyph writing, the gods made him the divine scribe. He was in charge with recording everything that was important, which explains his presence in the Hall of Judgment for the dead. Osiris, the god of the afterlife, also gave Thoth the duty of recording the verdict when the heart of the deceased was weighted. This was a very important moment because the weight of the heart determined whether the deceased behaved well during their time on earth and whether they earned the right to live in Osiris' kingdom. Thoth is also depicted sometimes writing on a leaf in front of a large tree. This is a particular scene that shows him writing down the years of a pharaoh's reign. Ancient Egyptians represented Thoth in 3 different forms: as a man with the head of an ibis, as a baboon, and more rarely as an ibis. Towards the end of ancient Egyptian history, during what is called the Late Period, ancient Egyptians, depending on region, started to consider some animals sacred and mummified them. As there were few baboons in ancient Egypt, ibises were chosen and sometimes they were sacrificed in honor of Thoth in cities, where it played a major role. Thus, in the ancient city of Hermopolis, Thoth was protecting. Archaeologists found more than 4 million mummies of ibises in its sacred cemetery. Well, now you know, Thoth is a crucial god in Egyptian mythology.